Jack Brown stepped off the shuttle with a light heart. The air smelled of dust and old stone. The ruins rose before him like a giant skeleton of a lost world. Emma Davis followed close behind. She studied her digital scanner with care, noting every shift in the readings. The team had spent months tracking this site on the planet Kalora. Legend said an ancient alien civilization once walked there. Jack and Emma had come to uncover proof. They hoped to find relics that could change history. For humanity, the loading bay door closed behind them with a soft hiss. Torches mounted on their helmets cast flickering light across the carved walls. Strange symbols covered every surface. Jack ran his gloved hand along a groove in the stone. It felt brittle and cold under his touch. Each step they took echoed down. The long hallway, the air was still. Dust motes drifted in the beam of their lights. Emma whispered, "Keep your eyes open." Jack nodded. They rounded a corner and entered a wide chamber. Pillars rose to support a vaulted ceiling. In the center stood a statue taller than a person. It looked like a graceful figure of a being with smooth features. Its eyes were closed. The stone had weathered over 1,000 years, but the form remained strong. Jack felt a grin spread across his face. He took a casual step forward. "Watch this," he said. He reached out and pressed his lips to the statue's cheek in a playful kiss. Emma gasped. For a moment nothing happened. Jack laughed and stepped back. He looked at Emma with a proud smile, but then the statue's eyes flickered. A faint glow appeared. Amelia, the team leader, shouted, "Jack, move away from that thing," but it was too late. The eyes opened fully. In a bright blue light, Jack froze in place. The chamber trembled. Stones cracked overhead. Dust rained down around them. Alarms blared on their wrist communicators. Red lights flashed as emergency protocols activated. Jack stumbled back. Emma grabbed his arm and pulled him aside as the floor split in thin lines around the statue. The stone figure spoke in a voice that echoed through the room. The words sounded strange, but the translator on Emma's wrist began to convert them into English. "You have broken the seal," the statue said. Jack swallowed hard. Emma held up her scanner. It spit out garbled symbols that translated as best it could, "Knowing you doom your kind." Jack tried to speak, but his voice caught in his throat. He looked up at the statue. Its face held no anger, only an ancient calm. Amelia barked orders. "Emma, translate everything." "Jack, get to safety near the shuttle door, now." Jack obeyed. He scrambled toward the far wall. He found a raised platform and climbed onto it. Pebbles slid under his boots. Emma stayed near the statue. She kept the beam of her helmet light on its face. She repeated what the translator gave her. "The seal held for 1,000 years, she said. "It kept the weapon beneath silent. Your touch has awoken the spirit guarding it." Jack shivered as more debris fell. What weapon? What spirit? The statue spoke again. This time the translation came through more clearly. "Beyond the gate lies the heart of war. The moment of awakening brings ruin upon many worlds." Emma's eyes widened. "It says beyond the gate." Amelia and 2 other team members scanned the wall to one side. There they found a hidden doorway. It was sealed by engraved stone slabs. The symbols on the slabs matched those on the statue. Jack climbed down from the platform and joined Emma. He whispered, "We should have known better." Emma shook her head. "None of us guessed. We thought this was just a tomb." The tremors grew stronger. Cracks snaked from the statue to the platform. A low rumble rolled through the room. Amelia spoke into her cum. "Prepare to evacuate. We do not know how long this will last." She turned to Jack and Emma. "You two, get to the shuttle. We'll stay and see if we can seal the chamber again." Jack looked back at the statue. It stood calm as if it watched centuries pass in silence. He felt guilt settle in his chest. He whispered, "I did this." Emma placed a hand on his shoulder. "I know, we'll fix it, together." They ran toward the corridor where the shuttle door waited. The alarms grew louder. Sparks flew from damaged consoles along the walls. The floor shook with every step. As they neared the exit, another tremor split the corridor. A section of ceiling collapsed ahead, blocking their path. Dust filled their lungs as they ducked for cover. Jack coughed and waved away dust. He looked up to see a narrow gap in the debris. "Over here," he yelled. He grabbed Emma's arm and pulled her toward the opening. They crawled through, boots scraping stone. When they reached the other side, they saw the shuttle standing at the end of the passage. Its hatch was open and lights glowed inside. Jack and Emma sprinted forward. Emma hit the control panel beside the hatch and the ramp descended. They ran up the ramp and into the shuttle. Inside, the pilot sealed the hatch with a hiss. The team's leader, a calm figure named Carter Lee, checked the systems. He nodded. "Good timing. The structure is about to collapse." Jack looked out the window as the corridor behind them buckled. Stone walls twisted inward. The roar of falling rock echoed through the field. Emma sank into a seat. She wiped sweat from her brow. "We need to warn command." Carter tapped a console. "Sending data now. They should get the alert in minutes." Jack closed his eyes. He saw the glowing eyes of the statue in his mind. He felt responsible for opening what lay beneath. But he also felt hope. He had Emma by his side and a team ready to help. Outside, the shuttle rose into the sky. The ruins fell silent behind them, save for a final tremor that shook loose a cloud of dust. Jack pressed his hand to the window, as if trying to hold on to the memory of the chamber. Emma placed a gentle hand on his arm. "We will face this. Humanity will stand." The shuttle cut through the violet sky as Jack Brown stared out the window. Below, the ancient ruins lay broken. Dust rose like a cloud over the collapsed passage. He folded his arms. Thoughts about the statue's warning swirled in his mind. Emma Davis sat beside him, scrolling through data on her tablet. "Command wants a full report," she said softly. "They're gathering a response team." Jack turned to her. "We need more than words. We need proof of what we saw." Emma nodded. "We'll bring back evidence." Carter Lee, the shuttle's pilot, entered the cabin. "We'll refuel at Outpost Theta, then we return with heavy gear." Jack stood. "How long until we leave?" Carter checked his instruments. 2 hours. "We can't hurry faster or we risk engine stress." Jack and Emma found a quiet corner. They reviewed the recorder output of the statue's speech. Translations were incomplete. Many alien symbols remained garbled. Emma frowned. "We must capture better scans." "I want clear audio and visuals," Jack agreed. "And we need to seal the..." "Seal again? Maybe the statue can help." Back at Outpost Theta, the shuttle's ramp lowered. The landing pad buzzed with activity. Rovers unloaded equipment while technicians checked weapons and gear. Heavy suits, drills, and portable scanners spread across crates. Jack and Emma joined a meeting in a metal hangar. Holographic displays showed the ruins and the sealed gate. General Willis, a stern leader in a starched uniform, pointed to the glowing lines on the display. "This symbol network is the seal. It's the key to contain the weapon. We cannot let it activate." He turned to the team. "Jack, Emma, you go back. Dr. Ross will lead the defense team here if things go wrong." Jack swallowed. "Sir, our priority is to reseal the gate. Second, gather as much data as possible from the statue." General Willis nodded. "Approved. Take a squad of engineers and security personnel. I want that seal reforged or replaced if necessary." Loading into an armed dropship, Jack felt his pulse quicken. The pilot saluted. "We'll land at the upper ruins platform. From there, you head indoors." Jack checked his rifle. Emma carried a portable scanner and a data uplink module. Their small squad of 5 followed. The ruins platform was wider than they expected, with columns that reached high above. Wind whipped through gaps in the stone. Torches burned from walls, powered by alien energy sources. Jack stepped off the dropship and felt the cold stone beneath his boots. Emma set up the scanner near the old corridor entrance. "We'll map energy flows," she said. The team spread out. Engineers placed replicator devices to create new seal. Slabs, security guards set up perimeter defenses. Suddenly, the ground shook. Alarms rang on everyone's gear. From the ruined courtyard, figures emerged, alien guardians shaped like tall statues made alive. Their stone skin cracked, revealing light beneath. They carried long spears of carved crystal. Security guards raised their rifles and fired. Energy bolts ricocheted off the Guardian's plating. Jack dove behind a fallen pillar. He aimed and shot at a Guardian's head. The beam shattered rock. But the creature pressed on. Emma shouted, "Jack," the statue said, "Guardians protect the chamber. We have to distract them while engineers place the new seal." Jack nodded and stood. He fired at Guardians in sequence, drawing them away from the chamber entrance. The Guardians advanced slowly but surely. Their movements were precise. Jack ducked and rolled to avoid a sweeping spear jab. He fired into its knee joint and watched it stumble. He heard gardening voices, recordings of the statue's speech, but the Guardians moved unmoved. Emma ran to the engineer team. She helped guide them, placing the first new slab over the gate's rough edges. Symbols glowed as the slab connected. A hum began under the ground. The weapon's heartbeat grew louder. Jack continued his cover fire. He felt sweat run down his side. A Guardian lunged. He kicked a pillar into its path, slowing it. The creature recovered and struck with its spear. Jack rolled away. Inside the chamber, an engineer called out, "We need one more slab." Emma grabbed the last piece from a crate. She sprinted toward the gate. Guardians now focused on her. Jack saw this and fired at a Guardian to pull it away. Emma reached the gate. She fitted the slab into place. Symbols lit up in sequence. The ground's racket grew violent. Dust fell from the ceiling. The translator on Emma's wrist crackled. "Attack seal complete," it announced. Hope flickered. Jack heard a low groan. As the Guardians reached Emma, he rushed in between and fired. The blast scattered stone dust. One Guardian paused, as if confused. Then it recognized the seal's power and backed off. The temple's tremors slowed. Light from the gate dimmed. The sealed doorway now glowed with soft blue energy. The ground settled. Dust drifted. The Guardians resumed their positions near the walls, inert once more. Emma and Jack met at the gate. She panted, "We did it." Jack nodded, relief heavy in his chest. He lowered his rifle. "We need more scans from the statue. Maybe it can tell us why the weapon is so dangerous." Emma tapped her tablet. "I already sent a request to command. They're sending translators and experts." From the corridor, the statue's voice echoed in recording. Emma replayed it. Jack listened to the words, "The heart of war sleeps beneath. Awaken and worlds burn." A chill ran down his spine. Carter Lee's dropship landed outside. Engineers prepared to transport the statue back for further study. Jack helped carry sensors while Emma packed data modules. As they loaded the last crate, Jack glanced at the sealed gate. He felt a quiet satisfaction. They had averted disaster for now. But he knew this was only the beginning. Emma strapped her scanner pack on and smiled tiredly. "We'll take this to our world and learn the truth." Jack returned her smile. "And, if we find more secrets like this, I hope we're ready." The dropship lifted off. Below, the ruins grew smaller. Jack pressed his forehead against the window. He thought of the statue's glowing eyes. He whispered, "We're ready." Jack Brown woke to the steady hum of the base's engines. Dim light filtered into the small room where he lay on a bunk. His mind raced with memories of the chamber and the sealed gate. He swung his legs off the side of the bunk and stood, rubbing his head. Through the open doorway, Emma Davis sat at a workbench covered with holographic displays. She tapped symbols on a floating panel, and the alien script glowed in midair. Near her, Dr. Ross studied a mobile lab scanner attached to a block of stone from the chamber. Jack entered quietly. "How is the statue analysis?" he asked. Emma glanced up. "They have the main translation, but many lines are incomplete. The experts will arrive tomorrow. Until then, we can review what we have." Jack nodded and moved to join her. They stood side by side, watching the display. Symbols matched lines from the statue's speech. Emma pointed to a phrase. "This part says the weapon stirs when the seal weakens. We must strengthen the seal further. But the key is a ritual of light. We do not know how to perform it." Jack frowned. The statue spoke of guardians. Maybe the ritual involves their pattern. If we mapped their positions and lights, we could recreate it. Emma tapped her tablet. I'll start mapping. Can you check the Guardian recordings? Jack agreed and walked to the lab area. There, rows of screens showed footage from their battle, capturing the Guardians as they moved through the courtyard. He played a loop. Each Guardian's eyes glowed in sequence, then faded. The colors of light shifted from blue to pale white. Jack paused the video. Their eyes form a pattern, blue then white. Maybe that sequence is part of the ritual. Dr. Ross looked up from his scanner. You may be onto something. If we can reproduce the light pattern around the sealed gate, perhaps we can reactivate the statue's protective field. Jack returned to Emma. She had a grid drawn on her panel representing the courtyard. Guardian positions marked as dots. She tapped a dot and a tiny light pulsed. Let's place beacons at those spots, Emma said. We'll set them to blink in the same color sequence. Then we stand at the gate and call out the words. Jack smiled. With cautious hope, we'll need time to set up. The courtyard was unstable after the tremors. We should reinforce key pillars first. In the operations room, General Willis reviewed the plan. Video feeds showed the courtyard under construction. Engineers anchored steel supports to broken columns. Security teams cleared loose debris. Jack and Emma joined the mission briefing. General Willis outlined their tasks. Jack, Emma, you lead the ritual team. Dr. Ross provides translation. Engineers handle beacon placement. Security provides perimeter. We start at first light. That night, Jack sat alone in the courtyard. Portable lamps illuminated half of the ruins. Shadows danced on broken stone. He adjusted his scanner and tested the first beacon. A soft blue light shone. Emma arrived carrying another beacon. She set it on a carved pedestal. Second light, white. Glow, she said. She activated it. The light was brighter and warm. Jack tapped his wrist. 2 down. 10 to go. Emma nodded and unpacked more. Hours passed as they placed beacons at each Guardian's former position. Sometimes the ground shifted under their boots. They paused to secure unstable stones with support beams. Finally, as dawn edged across the horizon, they stood before the sealed gate. Beacons formed a ring around them. Each blinked in sequence. Blue, white, each lasting 3 seconds. Emma raised her voice. We call the light of Guardians to renew the ward. She recited the phrase from the statue translation. Jack joined her. Their voices echoed off the stone walls. The beacons synchronized. The ring of light pulsed and bright beams shot toward the sealed gate. The engravings on the slabs glowed. The ground shivered, but the seal held. From the block of stone at the gate center, a soft hum rose. The glowing lines spread across the courtyard floor. Jack and Emma stared as the glow formed. A protective circle. Within the circle, glyphs flickered and reshaped into a single phrase. From light comes protection. Emma whispered, it worked. The gate's energy field shimmered like a glass wall. The sealed doorway shone with renewed power. Jack exhaled. He felt relief wash over him. The weapon cannot break free while this stands. He placed a hand on the gate's edge. The protective field rippled under his touch. Back inside base, the team celebrated with quiet relief. General Willis shook Jack's hand. You've done well. Humanity owes you both a debt. Jack met Emma's eyes. She smiled. We saved our world. Today, but as they left the operations room, a warning horn blared. Security officers rushed past them. Jack and Emma ran to the bay windows. Outside, dark clouds formed over the ruins. Lightning flashed where the hidden doorway lay beneath. Emma gasped. The weapon stirs again. That storm wasn't there before. Jack clenched his fist. We may have delayed fate, but we haven't won. Prepare for Part 4. Jack Brown stared at the volcanic horizon as the dropship skirted low over jagged rock. Below, the ruins lay silent. But thunder rumbled in the distance. Storm clouds gathered over the sealed gate. Emma Davis tightened her grip on the scanner. Beside her, Carter Lee piloted with steady hands. Dr. Ross watched the readings on his wrist display. General Willis stood near the ramp, eyes narrowed. We land near the gate, Carter announced. Storm is closing fast. Jack nodded. Let's move. The ramp descended with a hiss. Jack led the way, rifle raised. The courtyard glowed with the beacon. Lights they had placed earlier. Pillars now reinforced with steel held firm. Emma checked her scanner. Energy field at full strength. But lightning is charging the air. It could overload the seal. She tapped her wrist. We need to find a way to divert the energy. Dr. Ross surveyed the runes. The alien script mentions a conductor of light. Perhaps we can build a circuit to channel excess energy into the Guardian's beacons, General Willis agreed. Engineers, gather metal rods and link them between the beacons. Under roiling clouds, engineers laid rods connecting each beacon. Sparks flew where metal joined. Jack and security guards formed a circle to protect the team. Lightning flashed. A bolt struck the courtyard floor, sending a shockwave through the ruins. Emma staggered, but held her scanner high. Field dipping, she yelled. Seal weakening. Jack fired at shadows moving at the courtyard edge. Dark shapes crawled from broken walls, alien creatures shaped like worms with crystalline spines. They slithered toward the team. Security guards opened fire. Bullets bounced off crystal armor. One worm lashed a spiny tail and knocked a guard aside. Jack sprinted to help, firing at the hind legs. The creature shrieked and fell. Emma rushed to the nearest generator. She attached a cable from the beacon grid. We divert power now, she cried. She hit the control. Energy surged through rods, lighting the beacons in a bright, unified glow. A second lightning bolt struck a beacon. Its light blazed and the electricity flowed through the rods in a loop, sending power into the ground. The sealed gate pulsed. With renewed strength, Dr. Ross rushed to Emma. The conduit held. The field is stable again. Jack reloaded and scanned the courtyard. The worms recoiled from the light. They hissed and retreated into cracks in the stone. General Willis called. Over the comb. Courtyard secure. How is the seal? Dr. Ross answered. Energy levels normal, but storm persists. Jack said, we should head inside the chamber and reinforce the seal manually. This field is no guarantee, General Willis nodded. You have the order. They moved swiftly to the corridor leading to the hidden gate. The wind howled above. Rain began to fall in heavy sheets. Jack led the way, flashlight cutting through rain. Inside the chamber, the sealed doorway glowed faintly. Engineers worked on scaffolding to carve fresh slabs over the old. Each new slab fit perfectly, sliding into place. Emma checked the translator. The script says to place the heart of light at the center. I need a power source. She turned to Carter. Your dropship battery can power it for a while. Can you move it here? Carter's voice crackled overcome. I'll try. But storm damage is heavy. I may need backup landing. Jack and security guards moved back to the chamber entrance to escort the dropship. They braved the storm, lightning lacing the sky. Carter maneuvered the dropship between columns, its engines roaring. Engineers attached a thick cable from the ship's battery to the heartstone at the gate's center. Emma held a clamp in place. Symbols on the heartstone glowed orange. Jack shouted over the wind, Ready! Emma pressed the activation switch. A beam of pure light shot from the heart. Stone to the ceiling. It reflected off carved mirrors, filling the chamber with light. The new slabs glowed as the registration lines on them pulsed. The rune script lit up in sequence. The sealed gate shone with bright white light, dominating the room. Then the light focused and shot out from the gate in a wave, sweeping through every corridor and even back into the courtyard. The storm outside flickered in rhythm, then dimmed. Inside, the hum of the weapon beneath slowed, then stopped. The ground felt still. The sealed gate's energy smoothed into a protective shield. Dr. Ross exhaled. The ritual worked. The weapon is locked again. Jack stepped forward and placed his hand on the glowing heartstone. The warmth spread through his glove. He felt hope. Emma joined him. We kept our promise. We fixed what was broken. General Willis smiled for the first time. Humanity stands. He turned to the team. Prepare to return. Our work here is done. As they exited the chamber, the storm cleared. Sunlight broke through dark clouds. The courtyard glistened under rain-washed stone. Jack looked up at the sky and felt a weight lift from his shoulders. Emma sighed in relief. Dr. Ross packed the last of the heart stone samples. On the dropship ramp, Jack paused and whispered, "We may have sealed the weapon, but its memory lives on." He looked at Emma. "We need to learn more," Emma nodded. "And we will. But first, we go home for now." The dropship lifted off as the ruins shrank below. Jack and Emma sat side by side, gazing out. The sealed gate glowed faintly, hidden in mist. Jack turned to Emma. "Humanity will remember this day," Emma smiled. "And we will. Be ready when the next challenge comes." Emma Davis stood on the deck of the command ship as it entered orbit above Calora. She looked down at the ruins, still glowing faintly. Beside her, Jack Brown reviewed mission logs on a holodisplay. "We have data on the seal and the weapon's location," Emma said. "Command wants a full analysis, then we decide our next move." Jack closed the log. "We saved Calora and possibly many other worlds. Now we must share this knowledge." He turned to look at the planet. Below, the ruins lay quiet. The sealed gate stood hidden beneath reinforced earth. A new research station had been built near the landing pad. Scientists and engineers worked around the clock. Jack and Emma joined Dr. Ross in the lab bay. Stone samples and alien devices lined tables. Translation experts crowded around holoprojectors showing alien script. Dr. Ross pointed to a projection. "We have nearly complete translations of the statue's speech. It mentions the weapon was created as a last measure in a war among gods. It was meant to end conflicts but instead became a threat itself." Emma tapped the script. "It says the weapon binds itself to the will of its opener. That is why the statue warned that humanity is doomed. If someone misuses it, they lose control." Jack frowned. "So we have to ensure no one ever uses it. Sealing may not be permanent. Perhaps we should remove the weapon entirely." Dr. Ross nodded. "We can do that, but recovery attempts are risky. The weapon lies deep beneath the ruins, protected by alien technology." Emma leaned over a table. She examined a small console that resembled a key. "These controls might deactivate the weapon. If we can transfer them to our engineers, we could run the shutdown remotely." She traced her finger over buttons. Jack studied the device. "Its design is organic and linked to the statue's spirit. It might only work when the statue is present." "We should bring the statue here," Dr. Ross agreed. "We have a secure containment unit on the ship. We can transport the statue without risking damage." Technology teams loaded the statue onto a gravity lift platform. Its glowing eyes dimmed as systems powered down. Emma and Jack watched respectfully. They had grown fond of the ancient guardian. Later, in the secure lab, the statue stood enclosed in a protective field. Translators worked to keep its energy contained. Emma approached with the alien console. "We need your help," she said gently. She placed the console near the statue. The statue's eyes flickered and glowed. It spoke slowly. "Long have I watched over the gate," it said, voice deep and calm. "The heart of war sleeps, but its burden weighs on me. If you wish to remove it, let light guide your hands." Emma tapped her translator. "The statue says, 'Light guide your hands.'" She turned to Jack. "We must perform another ritual. This time to unbind the weapon and take it away." Jack nodded. "We can use our ship's main power as light source. Point our beam at the sealed gate, then activate the console." Translation experts adjusted the script. Emma read instructions. They must stand at precise positions around the statue, holding the console. Power beam must focus on the gate's location. On the command deck, Carter Lee aimed the ship's power beam at the ruins. The beam was gentle but steady. On cue, Emma and Jack stood near the statue in the lab with the console. Emma pressed the first button. A thin beam of light connected the console to the ship's beam through the statue. Jack followed the statue's words, reciting the translation phrase. "By spirit and by light we unbind the heart of war," he said. The console vibrated. Wires of energy ran from the statue to the projection of the gate. Inside the ruins, engineers watched monitors. The underground gate glowed as if alive. The seal flickered. Then the gate's energy contracted, pulling inward like a shutter closing. Emma and Jack felt a tremor beneath their feet. The lab lights flickered. The console's light dimmed and then went out. Dr. Ross checked readings. The weapon's energy is gone. It has been removed from the seal and bound into the console. The gate is inert. Jack exhaled. We did it, Emma smiled softly. We have the console. Now the weapon can never threaten worlds unless someone with ill will uses it. Dr. Ross placed a containment field around the console. We must guard this key. The responsibility is heavy. Jack and Emma stood by the statue's side. Its eyes glowed faintly. It spoke one last time. Your courage honors those who fell. Guard this power wisely. May light guide your future. The translator confirmed Emma's translator. The statue's eyes closed again. Its spirit lay at rest. Jack looked at Emma. We've done more than seal a weapon. We changed our destiny. Emma nodded, tears in her eyes. On the ship, Jack and Emma set the course for home. Below them, Calora's sun rose over a peaceful world. Hope and promise filled their hearts. Jack reached for Emma's hand. This is only the start of our journey. Humanity will learn from this day. Emma squeezed his hand. And together we will face whatever comes next.